Hi, everybody, and welcome to Let's Be Real. And we've got an exclusive interview with the Dean Quinton. Dean is the fifth housemate to come out of the Big Brother house with his iconic outfits and his one-liners, one of them being, "Don't piss me off." He has landed on Let's Be Real, and we're going to speak everything Big Brother. We're going to catch up with him. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because we are getting to the nitty-gritty, darling. Nitty-gritty.
Gritty with some alcohol.
And make sure you're all drinking as well. Chin, chin.
Mm.
Hey.
Cheers, honey.
Cheers. So, how are you?
I'm all right, love. I'm all
Yeah.
right. Happy to be here.
Oh.
We're doing it from the kitchen because the lighting everywhere else is shite. So, yeah.
You look good, darling. You look amazing. So thank you for joining me.
Okay.
And my first question to you is, you got the call to go on Big Brother, yeah? Where were you and what was your reaction? I need it all. Go on.
So, where was I at the time? So, I was actually in Camberwell. Yeah. I was at work.
Camberwell.
Do you know Camberwell?
Yeah, I used to get my nails done down there and it used to be a tenner. Please.
Oh, well, it probably still is in Camberwell. I literally was in Camberwell, I was at work, I was cutting hair and I got a phone call and I'd saved the number because I was like, I know that if they call me, I need to know it's them. I was in Camberwell High Street, I answered the phone call and they were like, have you deleted social media? I said, yes. And they were like, well, congratulations, you're a housemate on 2020. And I said, no. I literally bawled my eyes out in the middle of Camberwell, which did look so weird because if you know Camberwell, you know that's not the So, yeah, I got the phone call in Camberwell High Street. I cried my eyes out and then I rang my partner straight away like, oh my God. He was like, what's happened? Who's died? I was like, no one.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I would have shot myself in Camberwell, darling. I would have shot myself on the street. And that wouldn't be strange for them. Let me tell you that.
Trust me.
So you're in Big Brother.
Mm.
What were your highs and what were your lows?
My highs. There were so many highs, you know. So, like, even for me, storage was a high and a low. Because going into storage at first was kind of like, oh, shit. Like, we're all up for eviction. Like, first week. No one wants to eat, right? But then I think that's where I bonded with some of the people very quickly because we're really bad situation. You're gonna bond quicker. The storage was great. I think the moment going into the house, finally living in the house, the actual have it like nighttime, bedtimes in there were wild.
Yeah, I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it,
babes. I didn't sleep. I promise you, I didn't sleep.
Did you not?
No, I probably slept about 3 hours a night. I just could not sleep. And it wasn't the noise. There was no noise once everyone went to sleep. I just couldn't sleep. My brain just didn't switch off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And would they give you anything to help you sleep? No,
if you wanted it, probably. But
yeah,
I kind of was like, no, I'm just going to lay here awake and look at the ceiling lights. Like, can't go on my phone.
Yeah, you couldn't go on your phone. You couldn't speak to anybody on the outside. And then you can't sleep. Did you ever feel like you were going a bit... Because you know when you have a lack of sleep, everything is tipsy-turvy. Did you feel like that nearly every day when you didn't have sleep?
Pretty much, yeah. Like your highs and lows, your mood changes in there.
Yeah.
If the house is happy, everyone's happy. If something's happened in the house and it's bad, the house is bad. Like, you know... a situation on the outside world that's like, oh, you've had an argument with someone, you can go home and walk away from that and be like, well, it is what it is. It's there because you're surrounded in them walls and you can't leave. If there's an argument that's happening today, it doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone in the house. And there's nothing else to talk about. So you're regardless.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Because obviously for us as the viewers, we saw a lot of fakery that was happening in the house. A lot of, and did you guys mean to come across as fake, or was it just part of the house vibe?
It's part of the house, honestly.
Okay.
I've not really watched much of it back.
Okay.
I've watched bits back, and I've seen things, and I'm like, do you know what? And I said going in, and I said to everyone in that house, whatever happens in this house, stays in this house. Like, we are playing a game, first of all. You're going to bring people to the table that you don't know if they're going to be themselves or if they are playing a version of themselves. But you get a lot of fakery in there. But I genuinely think, like, from when we was in there, I didn't see any of that. Because with the people you're with, you don't hear everyone's conversation. When you're watching the show, you hear we don't. So I could be like friends with someone, and for all I know, they're in a diary room slagging me off.
That's what was going on.
Person.
And that's what was going on. And
yes,
did you feel like? So could you tell me who you felt like was really putting on an act?
Oh, do you know what? Genuinely, I don't think anyone was actually acting on the inside. Coming out and seeing the Hannah and Shagan situation, I'm a bit like, was Shagan acting this whole time? Do you know what I mean?
We need to talk about this, but quickly answer that question and then we'll jump onto Shagan and Hannah.
Yeah, I think maybe on reflection, watching things back, if anyone was acting, I would have probably said now, looking at it, is Shagan an actor? Like, is he?
Wow.
In the house, he's so genuine.
Yeah. So did you know in the house that he had a girlfriend? Was that ever a thing?
Not to me. I don't know if he told other people. I only found out literally about the week that I left. That's when and I was like, okay, interesting. And
could you tell with how he was acting in the house? Because we only get to see, what, an hour, 40 minutes, depends on what ITV want to give us.
You know what? On a serious note, I think, I don't know what's been shown, because like I said, I've not watched still. But from what I've seen in the house, their vibe was very much brother-sisterly vibes. But there was times, you know, like you're seeing things where, like that moment where Shagan said to Khaled, she comes to me. That's BS, because it's a two-way thing, honey. Like, don't play dirty like that, because that's not fair. She looked she wasn't, and she always said, no, we're just like brother and sister. She always said that. Always. So I don't know if you saw that.
No, we saw it, and us as the public, we saw that he went down on his knee to her, which to me, I'm not gonna lie, if I'm the girl on the outside and the man I'm interested in is going down on one knee to another woman, in my eyes, you're manifesting. To me, you're speaking, you're affirming, and to me, that's a red flag, and I am not dealing with that foolishness. Period. Yeah. So that's wild to me, because I do think he did her wrong in that situation. Obviously, everybody makes mistakes, but I just feel like he should have been a little bit more truthful in the matter with what he has going on the outside, and just to, I guess, reassure her or reassure other people that it's not that. Anytime anyone was asking him about Hannah, instead of him saying no, he was saying, she doesn't like me though. Oh, I'm not her type.
Yes. There was this, and that's where I was really like confused. I think in the house we were confused sometimes, because some of us were like, does he like her? Does he not like her? But when I say we didn't know, like, so then there was the Red Witch comment, which we didn't know would come from Shagan, because we were like, oh my god, okay. And then the girlfriend on the outside, we were a bit like, what? Like, so it's all very confusing. But like I said, in that house, things move so fast. Like, you kind of, like, it's the same with Nathan and Rosie, right? Baked Potato, they're together, but you in like five minutes, you're like, oh my god, they're together. Oh, everyone makes a big thing about it. Next day, no one gives a shit, because you're not making it. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think Rosie and I'll call her Baked Potato. Do you think Baked Potato and Nathan was a showman's, or was that the real deal?
No, do you know what? I think when I was in there, I was like, no, this is real. But then when I came out and saw things, I was like, I think it feels more real for Baked Potato than it did Nathan. But being out, it's definitely real. Like, those two, the way he looks at her like they've been together years, you know, which is, some people would say you can't say you love someone within 6 weeks, right? But that environment is so intense. That is intense. So you think you might love someone more than you actually do. When continue on the outside? I hope so, because I love baked potato. Like, and I've got no hard feelings to Nathan. As much as he called me a prick, I've got no hard feelings. But
it's a show at the end of the day. You got no hard feelings. And I feel like that's what people forget. People do forget it's a show. Sometimes when I'm reading the comments and the trolls and how they're acting.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's a show. Are you not entertained? You guys are taking it way too far. Do you get what I'm saying? And
this is what I say to people now. They're like, oh, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe that. I said, remember, you see 45 minutes with adverts of 24 hours a day. And so much, and we were speaking about this on Friday, like the rest of us were like, there's so much that didn't get shown that was actually, we had so much fun in there. But it seems like we were just constantly at each other's brains, like fucking. We weren't. Like,
yeah, we saw a lot of that, and I feel like, I guess that's obviously up to the editors and how they handle things, because they kind of painted you towards the end in a completely different light. Because that shocked me. I'm gonna be so real. Like, that shocked me. I knew you had a little bit of tension with the bagel situation in Izaz, and we'll get there. But with everything else, it just, the ending, it was just seems like you had enough. And this is actually one of my questions. I literally wrote here, like, you woke up one day and chose violence. And I woke up one day. Is he?
No. That's what I said. Let me explain that situation. So that's
because you actually woke up one day and chose violence, darling.
There was a few, and it's funny because the people I know on the outside world were like, we knew that you had switched off. We knew, because we could see you had got to the point where you were like, you know what? I got to the point where I was like, I'm not going to win this now. Like, I know I'm not going to win this. Like, I genuinely thought Lily was going to take the crown from the moment I walked in that door. So I was like, well, I'm not going to win. And I was just done. I was kind of like, my time was my time. I had a great time. But yeah, that situation. So something changed that day, the whole day. So we woke up.
I need to know. Tell me from the start to end. Okay. Go ahead.
Big Brother comes and says, you're going to be vampires and villagers. Big Brother then chose who was vampires and who was villagers, right? We start getting ready in the bedroom. And as soon as the people that were the villagers, something switched in their brain. Like they went feral from inside. We were getting ready and they were slagging us all off in the bedroom to our faces. Look at these, look, they think they're so fresh in their vampire outfits. I'm like, I'm just getting changed. Like, it's not that deep. Like, I'm just they were pressing buttons. So there was that. Then we get put in separate rooms, right? Big Brother, to us, never once said that we can't go in the sitting room or into the garden to vape or whatever. Big Brother said the housemates can let you in at their choice. Unbeknown to us, Big Brother had told them that we could steal their blood and we could take it back. No one there's nothing. So we got put in a separate room. We were stuck in a room for about 9 to 10 hours. Yeah. So the day was long. We were stuck in this room. There'd be 2 tasks that day, but 90% of the time we were just in the vampire layer doing nothing. So tensions were rising. We were allowed to leave every now and then to try and get into the main garden just so the girls could smoke. And then I saw a video, side note, on TikTok, some woman, some psychologist saying, oh, it's because Dean wanted to smoke. That's why he went feral. Babes, I don't I've never smoked in my talking about. Like, I didn't want to smoke. I wanted the girls to get a vape because as they've got an addiction, right? Smoking is an addiction.
Yeah, of course.
Let them smoke. But anyway, so then we got greeted at the door with like, fuck off. They were being so feral and tensions were high from morning. So then the next task come, it's like, okay, Big Brother says, the more brutal you are, the more blood you will earn for your team. And I was right. I got picked and I said, you know what? I knew it's going to be me and Nathan. And I called it. I said, it's going to be Nathan because he's like openly the brutal one, right? So we go in the room, and before I go in the room, the rest of the vampires were like, be brutal, don't hold back, say what you feel, we need to win this because we can't be nomination. I'm like, I got this. And the problem for me is when we're doing a task, I go into task mode. Like I'm
okay.
I'm gonna
win. You understood, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, we were very much like, we didn't know the consequences. We genuinely thought if we lost, we're all facing nomination. And at that point, no one wants to go home, right? Everyone there chats shit if you want to chat shit, but everyone wants to win.
Of course they do. And that was something else that was annoying me. People weren't realizing, like, hello, it's a game. Why are we doing, they're playing a game.
Yeah. And as soon as I said openly, yeah, of course I want to win. Like, then people just changed towards me. And I'm like, hang on a minute.
That's weird.
Here with 100K, then 15 new friends. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, but 100 grand would have been lovely. So anyway, we got into the room. The task comes up, then Big Brother says what we got to do. And I see the things and I was like, oh my God. Like, in my heart, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But then I was like, I can't let the team down. Like, I've got to be honest and I've got to be truthful. And there was all these built up tensions and there was all of this. And Nathan was goading me as well. Like,
of course he was.
Didn't see it. And he's like, oh, like he's trying to wind me up. And then he threw me under the bus by saying that I would basically stab him in the back to win. And genuinely, I've always said, like, I would love to have been in the final with Emma and Nathan. Like, I said that from the beginning because, like, I were like a little group. Like, I got on really well. And I was like, why would you say that? So then, obviously, in the moment, in the task, I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I'm going to throw you. I said, yeah, I will throw you under the bus. Of course I will. Like, win. And then the comments come with Sarah. Which by the shoes. The shoes. But by the way, the shoe joke, that was the joke of the house. Obviously, we didn't know that wasn't shown anywhere else.
No.
From week 2 all the way to the end, Sarah's shoes were the joke of the house. Everyone was always like, you need to sort them shoes out, and the grandma's shoes. So that was me just trying to, like, I'd realized I'd been quite brutal, and it was like, right, how am I going to try and, like, soften this blow? And I was like, and anyone like that, I can't be friends with wear shoes. So, you know, that was the joke. Like, but she was
right. That makes a lot of sense. Big Brother, the editors are good. They are good at their job. I cannot lie to you. Let's be real. They did their job and they did it well because. So then, you may not have been out. Because I honestly feel like when that all happened and that all came out, it just made sense for you to be the next person to come out. Yeah. That's why I wrote and said in my video, why did you choose to be real now?
Yeah.
But and it makes sense.
I was real the whole time.
Yeah. But then it did. Well, I'll be real. There were certain points where, like, things were not said to each other's faces. So you had that whole issue with Izaz, got irritated with the whole the bagel situation. The bagel situation with don't piss me off and stuff like that. Like, was there anything more to you and Izaz that we didn't see on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, there were?
Yeah, because we had a conversation. I called him out on it. So basically, he came into the bedroom afterwards and I said, are you pissed off with me about this whole bagel? And he was like, listen, like, no, but I wouldn't have thrown it away. And I was like, fair, but you got to remember, we've got Lily who is breaking rules left, right, and centre.
I've got a drink for that one.
Right? And I love her, but she did, and she always owns it. But she broke the rules. And she even said, yeah, Dean, if you didn't throw it, I would have eaten the bagel. And that would have been a fail. I wasn't about to live on fucking porridge again and no tea and coffee. That's not my life.
That's another one. Your tea, when you dash the tea. So what did it feel like when it was rule breaks? Like, how did that go? How did that process through your body when you found out there's another rule break, especially if you're not involved in any of the rule breaks? Yeah. How does it feel to you and the whole house? What's the atmosphere like?
Oh, the atmosphere changed. I was fuming. And at that point, that was the third rule break, I think, with the tea. That's when I lobbed the tea. But when I threw the tea, I didn't realize that it was going to go that far across the table. I was angry because the thing is, on the shopping list, I always said, order what you want. I don't care what you want. As long as we've got some protein, we've got some carbs, as long as I've got my tea and coffee, I don't care else. I just coffee and I'm good. I can survive this house. When they took that away, I'm like, okay. Not only are you breaking the rules, you're also taking away my luxuries because that's all I have on the damn shopping list.
Oh no.
Fuming. But the house did change, yeah. Like Emma was very vocal with it, and even with when the vampire task, Lily broke the rule within 10 minutes of us getting our shopping. So, and she apologized, and I was like, look, I'm not pissed off. I'm just disappointed because.
Oh, that's a stinger. You know, that's a stinger.
I was disappointed because I was like, for me, I did that task. I was brutal. Then there was like a real big tension in the house. And then we had to do face-to-face fucking nominations, which we didn't know. That was even more harsh. And I thought, okay, at least one thing is we've had to do all this madness, but we've got the luxury budget. That's some saving grace. And then we got the luxury budget.
Yeah, that was horrible.
So I was like,
horrible.
Of course I was pissed off. Like, and I said to Mark, I didn't mean to throw the tea bags at you. Like, I didn't even. Like, I just lobbed it.
You know what? How they got Martha out on Big Brother was probably.
Oh.
That was, I have to say, one of I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even do that to someone. That was low.
Yeah,
that was really, really low.
And as a house, we were shocked.
Yeah. Because you guys, like, they didn't even get to say goodbye to Martha properly. That was so harsh. It's crazy because you go on TV and you think that they're going to have your best interest at heart, when really and truly they're just making a show and it's to entertain the viewers, spike it up, get people like me to start talking about it, and then boom, bam, boogie. Right. So,
we go on the show and get told, remember, we're making a TV show. And I've always took responsibility for what I said. I always said what I said. And I've never come down from that. I did say what I said. And I had afterwards. So I'm not going to, back up. But they're making a TV show. And, there is a way, like they want, I feel like there's a storyline that has to be had, right? So like you're saying, it was my time to go. And it was very clear.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was, they did it. They did it perfectly for everybody. It was literally, they had the clip at the right time. They planted the right seed, because we had no idea that the shoe thing was a house joke.
Yeah.
You get it?
And I've said this on so many interviews now. Like, I was like, the shoe thing was a joke. Like, it's been a house joke from week 2.
Yeah.
But me and Sarah, we're calm.
No, I can see on the story. Yeah, it looks lovely.
Sarah, we spent the Friday together, and she was like, listen, it's all love. Whatever happened, I was like, honestly, Sarah, I hate your shoes still, but.
Oh, amazing. All right, lovely. So we're on the next part of the interview. Yes. And it's questions from the public.
Oh, here we go.
Are you ready? We're going to have to try and keep these answers as short. Yeah, a bit short.
Yeah, that's
but I'm going to do that again. So next part of the interview, darling, is questions from the public. And we have a question from Becca RCR. How did you deal with homophobia in the house that you said you heard?
Okay, this question has come up a lot. So I spoke about it before. Big Brother called me into the diary room, and we spoke about it. There were comments made. There were a few comments that I'd heard house, and as a queer person, you're very much like you're blind to it in a way. You kind of just you're there, and you just kind of, it goes over your head a little bit. But then it made me feel a bit like, I can't explain it. It's a feeling, a feeling if someone, know a feeling, right?
I know a feeling. Don't worry, darling. I know.
You can't portray that in words. Anyway, there was a moment I got called Campenstein when I had the Frankenstein thing on.
Campenstein.
Yeah. And I was like,
I wonder who thinks to say these kind of things. It's the fact that it's your thought process, and then on top of that, it comes out your mouth.
Right. So this was my thing. And so, like I said to you earlier, everything moves so fast in the house, right? So that thing happened. Then I was called into the diary room about it, and I just didn't really process it too much. And I was like, Big Brother was like, is everything okay? Like, are you? And I was like, I think it was a joke. But then on the deep one, I was like, actually, no, I don't like that, actually, because why am I protecting that as a joke when I should? That's hurt my feelings. So, and again, you just put up this thing where you go, oh, I'm used to it. It happens all the time. So, but it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. And then those were the comments that were made. And I just kind of, you see the decline from them. And it was the same, it was within 2 days.
Oh, I'm really sorry, man. That's horrible. Because that's kind of ruined, that's aided to ruining your experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you were an iconic housemate. And I saw you going all the way. That's why I was so thrown off. And I thought you just chose violence.
No.
But okay, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, my love.
There was a build-up of everything.
Of course. And there would be. There would be. Yeah. All right, so this is my favorite one.
Oh,
from Sophie B _1990. Do you think Marcello would have liked Ali if she fancied him back?
Oh, Marcello likes all women. Come on now, like Marcello does not. He speaks about women all the time.
So that's anything with a pulse.
Yeah.
Right.
I think if she wasn't lesbian, then would have done. Yeah.
Oh dear. Caitlin wanted to know who smelled the best.
Oh, who smelled the best? Hannah. She was like a walk-in perfume bottle. Is it? Oh my god. She looks like someone just smells good though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But we only saw comments from Shagan that he smelled good.
Shagan did smell good too, but Hannah always smelled incredible. Always.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Oh, okay. This question's from Matilda. Could you hear people decorate the house at night when you guys were sleeping? And I want to know this as well.
Yes.
You could. They weren't even discreet.
No, they tried to be, and no one else heard it. But I was awake.
Yeah. Oh.
So I'd hear bang, 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 bang. I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on?
You're trying to sleep and then flipping do not Bill Bob the Builder.
Honestly. But it was quite loud. But they were very discreet. But there were sometimes, especially if they're building like that number 10 Downing Street thing, which looked incredible.
It looked amazing.
You can't hide that noise,
Oh, wow. Sophia _Kelly said, since BB finished, is there anyone else you think you wouldn't be friends with?
What, on the outside world, or is that? No. I talked to all of them, to be fair.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I talked to all of them. I mean, I haven't spoken to Marcello, but obvious reasons, which is very different people, and that's okay.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to ask you. Oh, yes, that was one question. Let me be part of the public. What was it in terms of like, what is your, hold on, you know what? Let me do it word for word because I don't want to get it wrong. So I remember you saying that you were not a fan of toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on what that means to you personally and how you think society can shift away from it?
So I think a lot of it was the comments made about women constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong, Marcello has a lovely side to him. He really does. Not a horrible person. I just think with toxic masculinity, the way you talk about women, the way the jokes around women, saying Sarah smells of tea bags and period blood is not okay. That's toxic masculinity. Like, it's just a privilege as well that you're a male.
Yeah.
Like, no. And these comments
was wild.
But then when you see it back, she said, "What did you say?" And he was like, "I just said you smell of tea bags." And she was like, "No, I heard what you said. Now, own what you said." Like, but I think stuff like that, toxic masculinity, is that some of the comments that were made around homosexuality and stuff like that. Those sort of things we need to move away from. We need to be people like especially as a man, you can't talk about women like that and think that that's
right. Yeah.
But the good thing about Marcello is that he does take that on board and he will listen. So I hope he learns from that after watching it back.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Those sort of things I can't fuck with. Like, I really can't. And it was happening more.
No, you know what? You're right. But to us, how they viewed it, they made it seem like Marcello was the jokey person, that you don't take offense to it. Because when, like, I've come across men like Marcello before.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was one of the reasons as to why not that I didn't dislike him, but he entertained me. But I think it's because I wasn't in his proximity. It was because I was able to hear it for 45 minutes, see it as a joke, and get on about my day. But if that was in my ear 24/7, I probably would have switched as well. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Got on really well in the beginning, and then like behavior over time, you see, and you're in a pressured environment, things are you off, and you're going to be like, actually no. And the problem is, like, you can't, like, I feel like you saw it with Ali confronted him about things that he'd said, and then it makes things awkward because he doesn't like it and then doesn't talk to you for a number of days, and you're like, house, I'd rather just live in harmony, because it affects the whole house and it's not fair.
Okay. Wish they showed all of that side to you, you know, Dean. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay, so our last one is a game.
Oh,
so take your last sip. This is my last sip.
Yes, same.
Okay. So it's called fill in the blank game. I'm gonna say a sentence, there's gonna be a blank. You have to say the first thing that comes to your mind. No if, buts, or maybes. No.
Okay.
The most underrated player of your season was
baked potato.
Ooh. I would never trust someone to cook my food.
Lily.
I knew it was gonna be that one of a
Lily.
little one. If I could change one thing about my time in the house, it would be
nothing.
Oh, I love that. The most shocking eviction for me was when left.
Me.
Because we were all shocked. The most surprising twist in Big Brother was...
Oh, the backdoor boogie, Martha.
Yeah.
That was so deep.
Oh, and that was everything, dude.
Oh,
thank you so much. That was so amazing.
Fabulous.
I had a lovely conversation. Also wanted to ask you, are you watching I'm a Celeb?
Not yet. I haven't watched it. I'm going to catch up tonight.
Yeah? And what are you doing for Christmas? Because I'm a bit nosy.
Christmas, we have hired a house, my partner, I, and his family, and we're going to go and just chill, have drinks, do presents. We did it last year, and we're going to take the dog. The dog's going to come. Yeah, Christmas is always my favourite time of year. Christmas and Halloween.
Same. I love Christmas. I am Christmas. You look at you, your partners. Soon come, God. Come on, man. Soon come.
Love.
Please.
Come
on. Love. Because I'm trying to do this whole rent out a cabin, do up jacuzzi Christmas Eve. Do you know what I mean?
That is so cute. You should definitely do it with a friend. Fuck it.
You know what? It's true. I will do it with a friend. I'll bring on one of the girls. Oh, my darling. Oh, I've had a wonderful time speaking with you, my sugar. Please drop... Pardon?
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Drop your so tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh, Instagram and TikTok, honey, at Dean Quinton on everything. On
everything, honeys. Make sure you guys follow him. Make sure you follow Let's Be Real. You're going to get more exclusive interviews. And guys, just like, comment, and subscribe, girl.
Subscribe. Come on, people. Get them numbers up.